Hey folks, I'm James from Northern Limits Bushcraft and Survival, and today I'm going to do a video on my primitive fire kit. I'm here at the Bushcraft Show 2023. I'm super stoked to be here, but before I go and explore around, I'm going to do a quick video for you. Now, each of the members of Northern Limits Bushcraft and Survival, we have our own methods and techniques of doing different things. I'm more primitive, so I'm going to go through some primitive stuff with you, but Grazy does some modern methods of starting fire, so check out his video. It's really informative. Callum does one as well, so check that out. He uses gear in between all the areas, so that's informative too. If you're into all the primitive stuff, stay with me and we'll go through my kit. So first up is the hand drill, and on the end here I use a piece of elder and with a clematis hearthboard. My second piece of fire starting equipment is the bow drill. Here is the bow. This piece is made of hazel and the cordage is made of paracord. I found this personally to be the most durable piece of cordage. You can use natural cordage, but it does eventually snap. So if you want durability, go for paracord. The next pieces of the bow drill is the hearthboard. This one's made of willow, and so is the spindle. Now, as you can see here, I don't have much life left, so I will eventually change this up, but I've got spare hearthboards drying, because they do need to dry out fully for you to use them effectively. The last piece of kit for the bow drill is the bearing block. I've used pieces of wood for a bearing block before, but I find that they squeak quite a lot and you get quite a lot of friction. So instead I use this firestone that's around my neck. There's a divot there which is very smooth, and it allows me to have no friction or very little friction at the top of the spindle. Alternatively, you can use the seashell, which I carry with me as a backup option, and it's super smooth on the inside, so you don't get that friction at the top of the spindle. I also, in this pouch here, have something that's a bit more modern than friction fire, but still quite primitive. Underneath here is a piece of flint, which I've got from flint knapping, so this is just a piece that's come off. And wrapped in this cloth is a steel. So this is just a piece of iron, but it's a Viking style piece of iron. And what I would do is I'll use these, knock them together to make sparks. And I'll knock the sparks into the char cloth that you can see here. And then I'll put that into a bird's nest and ignite into flame. Now finally, move all that to the side. Finally, I have my backup option of starting fire, which is a lighter. Now, fortunately for me, I live in modern times, so I don't have to rely on friction ways of starting fire or even using the flint and steel. If all goes wrong and I cannot get a fire going, I can use a lighter. Now, every member of Northern Limits Bushcraft and Survival, we always carry a lighter. Either as our main source of starting fire, for example Grazy, or for myself I use this as a backup option. This is the most effective way of starting fire, so if I can't get one going, I will use this. Extra pieces of kit that I have with my fire kit is my fire bellow. You can get modern versions of these. They are metal and telescopic, but this one is a primitive version. It's made of elder. I've hollowed out the soft material on the inside, and then I've just carved this piece here just so the bark doesn't burn when it's near the fire, and I've carved myself a mouthpiece. So I'll use that to bellow the fire. And finally, I have a pouch here, and inside the pouch I will have dry pieces of tinder. So in there I've got lots and lots of birch bark, and I also have some fatwood. So if I'm ever in an area where there is no dry material, or it's very scarce and I need to get some for a bird's nest, I will just go into my backup pouch and I'll use this, and I just keep this either in my bag or on my person. So there you have it. That's my personal primitive fire starting kit. If you have any questions about it, pop it in the comments box below. If you would like to see any of these more in depth and explain about the wood that I use and don't use and how to use these pieces of kit, then chuck that in the comments box as well, and I'll do a video on each of them if you wish, on how to do them. Thank you very much for listening to my video. Please like, share and subscribe to Northern Limits Bushcraft and Survival. We really appreciate all the likes that you give us and everyone who subscribes and watches our videos. It keeps us going, keeps us making more videos and keeps us in the woods. So thank you very much for listening. Like, share, subscribe. Remember, you only live once, so live it in the woods. Thank you very much.